Here's your homework on solving logarithms. So take 4x subtract 7 equal to 15 plus 2y. Combine like terms and then divide. Make sure that when you answer it that it's a good solution there. For number 2, sometimes you have to apply properties that we know about logarithms to be able to write it properly. So the left side is good, but the right side, that 1/2 is going to be written as an exponent for 1 minus p. So the exponent is 1/2 there. Then you can make them equal to each other. Now the exponent 1/2 means square root, but to undo it we're going to square both sides to undo it. So we're going to FOIL the left side out. That's p squared and 5p, another 5p and 25. On the right side, they just undo each other, and you have 1 subtract p. We have a quadratic equation. So we have 10 plus 1 more to the other side. That makes 11. And then 25. Oh, subtract 1. That makes it 24. Equally 0. That is factorable. That's 3 and 8. They multiply to 24 and add to 11. So the two answers are -3 and -8. But -3 is the only answer I use because -8, when you plug it in here, is extraneous. So it's just -3. Number 3. Solve this logarithm. We're going to write it as one logarithm to begin with. That's 2x subtract 1 divided by 3x subtract 8. Next, we're going to make them equal to each other. We're going to multiply both sides by 3x subtract 8. And that becomes 15x subtract 40. Now we're going to combine like terms. So I'm going to subtract 2. 15 subtract 2 is 13. I'm going to add 40 to -1. And then divide. And you get the answer -3, right? So it's here. So if I add 1, I get -39. This is -13, so that's going to be a +3. And +3 works. Number 4. We're going to multiply these together, n plus 7 and n plus 2. We're going to make what's inside equal to each other. I'm going to distribute as I do that. It's a quadratic, so we're going to combine like terms. So I'm going to subtract 6. Okay, that's 7 plus 2. So that's 9. So it's 9. It's n subtract 8, n subtract 1. So the two solutions are 8 and 1. Both of them are good solutions, and it's over. Oh, wait a second. Both of these have to be... What did I do? This is positive. So that makes... Because it's all positive, that makes these two answers negative. And because of that, -1 works, but -8 is extraneous. So the only solution is -1. Number 5. I'm going to subtract 4 to the other side. So 6 take away 4 is 2. I'm going to write this exponentially. So 7k subtract 3 is equal to 5 squared, which is 25. Add 3, that's 28. Divide by 7, and you get 4, and 4 is a great answer. Number 6. No sense being too slow. The best way to do this is you do it first, then press play, and then see if you did it right. All right, I need to write this as one logarithm. So that's going to be c plus 1 squared times 2. And that's equal to 3. So c plus 1 squared, and then times 2 to write it as one logarithm. So c plus 1 squared is c squared and then there's a couple c's, and then 1 squared. And that's going to be equal to 4 cubed. Combine like terms. So that's 2c squared. 2c times 2 is 4c, and then 2 times 1, and then that's 64. Oh, I know what I did. You know what happened? I didn't realize that there were parentheses around all of it. So when you divide, the first thing you should have done was divide by 2. So this isn't squared. So we have 3 over 2. So what you have is 2c plus 2, because you multiply them together. And then it's 4 to the exponent 3/2. Now that's the square root of 4, which is 2, and 2 cubed, which is 8. So then subtract 2. I can do this. Divide by 2, and you get the answer. So make a mistake, look at the answer key, see what you did wrong. Number 7. Let's see. Let's not make a mistake again. Here we go. So when you add, you multiply them together. So that's going to be 9a squared. So 2 is the exponent on a, and then multiply them together. So we have 9a squared is equal to 16 to the exponent 3/2. The square root of 16 is 4, and 4 cubed is 64. Divide by 9, and you get 7. Now, this can't have a negative, so it's not positive and negative. It's just root 7, not positive root 7 and negative root 7. Let's see, what did I do wrong here? 9a squared. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Ha! Does 9 go into 64 evenly? Absolutely not. So it's like 64 over 9. Write it as a fraction so that when I do it, I just take the square root of the top and bottom. So that's 8/3. But it's only positive 8/3, not negative. All right, let me try again. The exponent, so that's ln, that's the exponent 1/4. Plus means times u is equal to 6. Now the fourth root of 256 is 4. So this is really 4u. The base is e to the exponent 6. So u by itself is e to the 6 divided by 4. If you put that in your calculator, you get 100.857. But that's a great answer too. That's the exact answer, and this is the approximate answer. Number 9. Can you solve each exponential equation using logarithms? Well, sometimes you can make the bases the same and you don't need a logarithm. So for number 9, the base here is going to be 3 to the exponent 5, and 3 squared, that p plus 2. Now that the bases are the same, take the exponents and make them equal to each other. Subtract 2, and then when you divide, it's 4 over 8 or 1/2. Perfect. Number 10. Again, you can make the bases the same. 5 to the exponent 4. Is that negative 3n? Let me make sure I got it. My eyesight. And then 125 is 5 cubed. And I think that's n subtract 2. And then once the bases are the same, you can take the exponents and make them equal to each other and then solve it that way. So we're going to subtract 3. When you divide, a negative divided by a negative is positive. You could also write 15 over 6 as 5 over 2. What did I do wrong? Oh, I know what I did wrong. 1 over 625 is to the negative 4. So a negative times a negative is positive 12n. So when you subtract, you get 9n is equal to negative 6. So 9n equals negative 6. When you divide, you get negative 6 over 9 or negative 2/3. There's your answer. I got this. Number 11. I can't make the bases the same, so I can only solve it by writing it as a logarithm and using a calculator. The exponent is 2r subtract 5. The base of the logarithm is 3. Inside is 14. Get r by itself, add 5, and divide everything by 2. If you put that in a calculator, you get 3.701. Number 12. Isolate the exponential part. That's to the exponent 1 subtract 3x. So we're going to divide by 5. Then I'm going to write it as a logarithm. Again, it's always good to press pause. I know I'm going fast, but you can press pause and try the work first and then press play. So the exponent is 1 subtract 3x. The logarithm has a base of 17 and then 4. To get x by itself, we're going to subtract 1, and then we're going to divide everything by negative 3. So this is your answer here. So subtract 1 and divide everything by negative 3. If you type that in the calculator, press the divide button first. Make sure it's log 4 divided by log 17. Subtract 1 over that. And if you did it correctly, you would get 0.170. Number 13. Solve this. That's to the 5v. So add 8 to begin with. That's 12. Multiply by the reciprocal, both sides. So when you multiply times the reciprocal, you get 6 times 5, which is 30. Or 60 divided by 2, which is 30. Write this as a logarithm. So that's 5v, and the logarithm has a base of 4 and 30 inside. Divide by 5, and then that's what you put in your calculator. And you would get 0.491. Again, you can try with Desmos and see if that's correct. Number 14. So isolate the exponential part. So subtract 11. That's negative 15. Divide by negative 3. That's positive 5. Write that as a logarithm. So the exponent, the logarithm, has a base of 4 with 5. And then you're going to subtract 4 and divide everything by 2. So that's what you're going to put in your calculator. So press pause, go to Desmos, type it in, and you should get negative, now you can press play, negative 3.9196. So that would be 20. All right, 2 left for your homework. This is the most complicated one when you have exponents on both sides. So take one of them. I'm going to take the c plus 6, and then the other side is going to be a logarithm with a base of 3, and then 4 to the exponent 2 minus c is there. 2 minus c can be written as a product in front of the logarithm, and then you're going to distribute. So that's going to be 2 log minus c and that log. And then you're going to gather the c's together. So we're going to add c with log. I'm going to subtract 6. And then factor out a c. And then divide. So make sure when you put this in your calculator that you press the divide button first. Then fill in the numerator and then fill in the denominator. So there it is. That's what you'd put in. And, whoops, the answer for C would be a negative 1.537. All right, one left. So you cannot make the bases the same. Take the exponent 2k plus 3 and then write a logarithm with a base of 8. That's 3k subtract 1. Then take the 3k subtract 1, and that's a product in front of the logarithm. Then you're going to distribute. So you have 2k plus 3. You have 3k with log minus 1 we don't need. It's just the log. Gather the k's together. So we have 2k subtract 3k. Subtract 3 to the other side. And then factor out a k and divide. So factor out a k and then divide with there, and then that's what you type in the calculator. So try it. Press pause, go to Desmos, press the divide sign first and type it in. It's log 6 divided by log 8, log 6 divided by log 8. And your answer should be 6.6. So try and see if you get it right. And there's your homework. Mr. G Math over and out. I'm proud of you that you did your work. I know it wasn't always easy. All right. Till next time.